In a faraway galaxy, alien doctors meet a human for the first time. They are shocked and confused by his red blood, so different from their own green or yellow blood. The humans live fast and burn energy quickly, unlike the aliens who survive slowly and carefully. The story shows the struggle to understand each other's biology and life stories. It is full of wonder, fear, and hope as they work together to save the human's life and learn about how life can be so different, yet connected. The emotional tone is tense and curious, with moments of shock, care, and growing friendship. The stakes are high because the human is badly hurt, and the aliens must use everything they know, and guess, to keep him alive. This story explores what it means to be alive in a universe full of strange and beautiful differences. The sharp scissors stopped in midair. Hi Ali's eyes widened as she stared at the dark red liquid spreading slowly from the human's wound. She held her breath, unable to move for a moment. It was impossible. The blood was supposed to be green. Or yellow. Or maybe blue. But red? That color meant iron. Iron blood was unheard of in the Galactic Council. It was the mark of savage death worlds, planets where life burned fast and died young. No intelligent species was supposed to have red blood. Yet here it was, staining the smooth white fabric of the human's uniform. The patient lay unconscious on the operating table, his chest rising and falling in slow, painful breaths. Hi Ali swallowed hard and looked at the other two Dryarian doctors standing near her. Their purple eyes mirrored her shock. Their leafy tendrils, usually soft and waving gently, stood rigid and stiff. A strange silence filled the sterile room, broken only by the steady beep of the life monitors. Dr. Trier finally spoke, his voice trembling with disbelief. That red blood, it shouldn't exist in a species capable of space flight. Their bodies should be locked in endless cycles of fast breeding and fast death. Evolution should have stopped them from becoming intelligent. Dr. Czar nodded, eyes narrowed with worry. I don't even remember such creatures in medical classes. It was always theoretical. A myth. We have no idea how to treat this. Our medicine is built for green or fermentation-based blood. Not iron. Hi Ali shook off her paralysis. This patient is ours now. The bleeding must be stopped before it's too late. We need to act. The doctors moved carefully. Their hands, used to working on creatures with thick, fibrous tissue, now handled surprisingly fragile human flesh. They worked slowly, sealing the wound with delicate sutures and gentle pressure. Every move was a question, every touch a risk. Their tools vibrated softly, and their hearts pounded as they watched the red blood seep less and less. How long do they take to heal? Czar asked, adjusting the bright surgical lights. We don't know, Trier answered grimly. Our tissues start to heal within hours. This might take days or longer. Or maybe never. Hi Ali stared at the monitors. The human's heart rate was steady but low. His oxygen levels fluctuated strangely. None of the readings made sense for this alien body. Hours passed like slow shadows. The doctors worked through exhaustion and fear. Then, finally, the bleeding stopped. The wound was closed, ugly but stable. They had done all they could. Czar sighed and pulled off his gloves. This is the captain's fault. Bringing a red-blooded creature aboard without telling medical. We're healers, not miracle workers. Trier shook his head. I'll learn more from the blood samples than from any conversation. This species may know engines, but not their own biology. Hi Ali stood beside the bed, watching the human's pale, almost translucent skin. She felt a strange mix of anger and pity. The others had left her alone to guard the patient, uninterested in what he truly was. But she would not give up. Then the human stirred. His hand lifted slowly, touching his forehead, then pulling the blanket down to look at his side. His eyes opened, hazel and full of confusion. Your blood is red, Hi Ali said quietly. The human blinked. I hope so. She smiled gently. It is rare here. Most species have green or yellow blood. Red blood is linked to death worlds. Creatures that burn fast and die young. He looked at her, amused despite his pain. Welcome to Earth. Hi Ali sat beside him, ready to learn. Gustav's voice was rough but steady as he spoke about Earth, a planet of chaos and surprises far from the calm order of the Galactic Council. His hazel eyes focused on Hi Ali's purple ones, filled with curiosity and something like pride. Most big animals there have red blood. Mammals, birds, reptiles, fish, all red as roses. Well, except some odd ones. Horseshoe crabs have blue blood. Sea cucumbers, yellow. Weird stuff. Hi Ali's leaf tendrils twitched. Blue blood. That would mean copper-based oxygen carriers. That is rare. Gustav chuckled softly. Yeah, we've got green-blooded lizards too. They're full of bile pigments, green bones, green tongues, green everything. Scientists think it would kill most creatures. But these guys just eat bugs and keep going. The alien doctor's eyes widened. Impossible. The toxins alone should be fatal. Welcome to Earth, Gustav smiled weakly. We specialize in impossible. Hi Ali absorbed his words, fascinated. And what of your ecosystem? How does it balance with such variety? Gustav shifted carefully, wincing at the pain. Barely. Everything tries to eat everything else, but somehow it all works. Big things eat little things. We started mostly as prey, no claws, no fangs, pretty pathetic. But we got smart. Big brains, opposable thumbs, and the ability to throw things hard and far. Hi Ali's tendrils lifted in surprise. You conquered your world through throwing? Gustav grinned. Yeah. Spears, rocks, then missiles. From running scared to keeping predators in zoos. Some people even keep the little ones as pets. I've got a cat back home named Schrödinger. The doctor's tendrils drooped in shock. You keep predators as companions? Small ones, Gustav explained. Dogs, cats, ferrets, domesticated. They can even read our expressions better than we can. Hi Ali's curiosity deepened. What about healing? How do your bodies recover from injury? Broken bones heal in weeks. Cuts close in days. Our livers can even regenerate if damaged, only organ that can. Probably why some humans enjoy poisoning themselves recreationally. Poison yourselves? Hi Ali whispered. Alcohol mostly, Gustav winked. Small doses loosen people up. Makes parties fun. Too much will kill you, though. Hi Ali shook her head slowly. Your biology defies everything I know. Gustav laughed. You're just getting started. He told her about Earth's extremes, jellyfish that could live forever by reversing their aging, creatures thriving in boiling water or frozen solid, and tiny tardigrades surviving the vacuum of space. Hi Ali's tendrils twitched with amazement. This cannot be true. Cross my heart, Gustav said, then laughed at her confusion. A human promise. We've got sayings for everything. Hi Ali smiled softly. Your world is chaos. Yeah, Gustav said. But it works. As they spoke, Hi Ali felt a strange warmth spreading through her leaves. For all their differences, the human stories made her world seem smaller and richer. 20 days had passed since the accident in the engine room, and Gustav was no longer the fragile patient they had first met. The alien doctors, especially Hi Ali, had learned much, both about his strange human biology and about patience and hope. Their initial shock at the red blood had faded into something deeper, a desire to understand and protect this curious species. The captain had surprisingly invested in xenobiological data about humans during their last stop. The knowledge transformed confusion into careful care. They printed antibiotics that Gustav assured were safe and watched his wound close neatly, leaving a pale scar he claimed would be a badge of honor. Now, Gustav walked the ship's corridors beside High Ollie. His steps were still a bit stiff, but his smile was wide and confident. "Doc, you ever meet a blob that can navigate a starship?" he joked. High Ollie laughed, her leafy tendrils dancing. "Only one, and you'll meet him soon enough." They approached a plain door that hissed open at their arrival. Inside was a strange glass wall dividing the room. Gustav stopped, puzzled. "Is this a prison?" High Ollie shook her head. "Oxygen is poison to him. His species evolved in a methane-rich atmosphere. We must keep him isolated." Through the glass, a large green sphere shifted slowly. It pulsed like a living thing, its surface rippling in slow waves. Gustav leaned closer, eyes wide. "That's your navigator." "Yes," High Ollie said, smiling. "Navigator Zay. He's a fermentation-based life form. His body is mostly liquid. This is his efficient form." The sphere's surface rippled more, and a melon-sized head slowly emerged, with tendrils waving in the methane atmosphere. Gustav took a step back, his face a mixture of fascination and horror. "Blob monsters usually don't look this friendly," he muttered. Zay's voice bubbled through the speakers, slightly annoyed. "None of you disturbed my resource gathering. What do you want?" High Ollie introduced Gustav, explaining his iron-based blood and their curiosity. Zay sighed. "My absorption phase is energy-consuming. I hibernate long periods to gather resources, then move actively in a smaller form." Gustav nodded. "Like charging a battery." Zay admitted it was a cruel but apt comparison. They spoke about their different energy systems, Zay fermenting nutrients in isolation, High Ollie's people photosynthesizing sunlight, and humans burning oxygen in fierce bursts. "It's like the universe's strangest diversity program," Gustav said, grinning. "We wouldn't fight over planets." Zay huffed. "Your human would poison me with exhalations. I would suffocate in your oxygen. And you would wither in methane." Gustav laughed. "But we're crewmates now." High Ollie felt hope bloom in her chest. 3 different life forms, so unlike each other, working together among the stars. It was a miracle. The 3 life forms, human, photosynthetic alien, and fermentation-based navigator, had become an unlikely trio aboard the starship. Gustav, High Ollie, and Zay often found themselves gathered in the ship's common area, sharing stories and jokes that crossed species barriers in surprising ways. One afternoon, Gustav smiled as he watched High Ollie adjust the lighting to better suit Zay's methane atmosphere. "Doc, ever think about how crazy it is? We're so different inside, but out here, we're on the same side." High Ollie's tendrils fluttered. "It is remarkable. We evolved in ways no one could have predicted, but we're united by this journey. Your fiery blood, my gentle leaves, Zay's bubbling fermentation, all together." Zay's deep voice rumbled through the room. "Your oxygen burning is violent. It consumes resources quickly. I find it exhausting." Gustav laughed. "That's just how we roll. We burn fast, live fast, and find humor in the chaos." High Ollie nodded thoughtfully. "Your biology challenges our assumptions about life. It forces us to rethink what it means to survive and thrive." Zay added, "And your humor is strange. I still don't understand your jokes about walking into a bar." Gustav grinned. "Yeah, Earth humor is weird. But it brings us closer. Laughter is universal." Suddenly, the ship jolted sharply. Alarms blared, and the lights flickered. "Warning! Hull breach detected in engineering," the automated voice announced. Gustav's face tightened. "Not again. I just got back from there." High Ollie grabbed a medical kit. "We have to help." Zay's form pulsed with urgency. "I will assist." Oxygen may be poison to me, but I cannot abandon my crewmates. The three rushed to engineering, their differences forgotten in the face of danger. The hull had cracked, releasing oxygen and threatening the methane atmosphere they depended on. Gustav worked quickly to seal the breach, while High Ollie treated injured crew members. Zay used his tendrils to stabilize critical systems, despite the hostile air. Their teamwork was flawless, born from days of learning each other's strengths and limits. The crisis passed, leaving the ship safe but shaken. Later, as they gathered again, Gustav looked at his companions and said, "We're more than just different species. We're a family." High Ollie smiled, her tendrils glowing softly. A family forged by blood, light, and bubbles. Zay hummed in agreement, the green sphere pulsing gently. Together, we survive. Days turned into weeks aboard the starship, and Gustav's recovery was nearly complete. His strength returned, his steps no longer stiff but confident and sure. The wounds on his side had healed, leaving a pale scar he showed off with pride. More than just his body, his spirit had been transformed by this strange alliance of life. High Ollie watched him carefully, her purple eyes filled with a mixture of scientific curiosity and deep affection. The initial shock of red blood had long faded. In its place was respect, for the human's resilience, his humor, and his unyielding will to survive. She often thought about the differences that had once terrified her: iron blood that burned oxygen like fire, a fast metabolism that defied the slow patient growth of her own people, the chaotic life on Earth full of predators and poisons. Yet here was Gustav, proof that life could thrive in the wildest ways imaginable. The day had come for Gustav to meet Zay properly. High Ollie led him back to the methane chamber, where the strange green sphere pulsed softly. As they approached, the sphere rippled, and Zay's head formed again, smiling, a curious expression for a being so alien. Gustav laughed. "You're more interesting than any alien I've read about." Zay's tendrils waved in greeting. "And you, human, are a burning star in this cold universe." High Ollie smiled warmly. "You both teach me that life is not about sameness, but about connection." Gustav turned to High Ollie. "Thanks for fighting for me when the others wanted to give up. I wouldn't be here without you." She shook her head. "You gave us hope. You showed that differences are strengths, not weaknesses." Together, the three looked out at the stars through the ship's viewport. Vast, cold, and mysterious, but alive with possibility. In that moment, beneath alien skies and foreign suns, life's strange dance continued, red blood and green leaves and bubbling methane, all part of the same cosmic story. They laughed, shared stories, and dreamed of adventures yet to come. Because no matter how different their origins, they were united by one truth: in the vast silence of space, friendship and hope were the greatest forces of all.